remember that. He was Tommy. That was actually a pretty good movie.
Don't even remember.
Don't know that one.
That was,
Help me
I
out.
believe that's the one with Hilary Swank.
The Reaping?
I'm thinking of a different movie. That's probably the case.
The
But-
Reaping's good with Idris Elba and Hilary Swank.
Singles.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
So just some crazy movies this guy's been in. You know
I
what
remember
mean?
watching this, and I when I was watching it recently, I was like, "This guy looks so familiar." But
Enemy
I
of
thought
the
it
State.
Enemy of the
Oh,
State.
yeah.
God damn.
was. I like that movie.
Yeah.
There are a lot more. I mean, I could go
Yeah.
on. There's just so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of scrolling through, and
It's like,
I
what?
mean,
He was in that?
I'm not even to 2006 yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
kinda
crazy.
give you an
that's
idea.
crazy.
So
Has he
this
been
guy's
in anything? Oh, well, you said Castle Rock.
Castle
huh?
Rock is what I kind of recognized and found. Blue Bloods, he's doing a lot of TV now. Blue
Yeah.
Bloods.
That's the way to go.
Constantine, oh, for sure.
Everybody now.
He's
is
been
doing
Well, I
on
mean,
some-
if you're an actor, you want a TV show
Yeah.
because that's constant
Steady
work,
work.
steady
Yeah.
work.
And he was on some, even though they weren't big roles, he was on some popular shows. But for me, some good shows like Justified was really good.
Oh, I know.
You know, Constantine.
That was
like
a good
you
one.
said,
It's
Fear
on
the
the
Walking
DC.
Dead, Blue Bloods, Castle
DC.
Rock, of course.
You can watch
Oh.
the Constantine on the DC Universe app.
2019, The Hunt. I don't know what that's. Not The Hunt of your love, my friend.
Oh, is it the one with Mads Mikkelsen?
No, it's a.
It was a
don't
TV
think
show,
so.
right?
It's a TV show that's
Oh,
coming out,
maybe
or
a
it's just come
pilot or
out. Yeah.
something. But that's cool.
Anyway, so that
is
guy
there-
was in fucking everything.
Is,
Yeah.
is there any other reason why it was so controversial of casting him? But just
Well,
other
because
than-
the other guy is in. Well, it was kind of forced by the studio, and the other guy's been in every other movie now.
Yeah.
Now at the time, this was only the second movie made. So
because he's not friends with Don Coscarelli.
Yeah, he was a
yeah.
false Mike Pearson.
Yeah.
well, let's move on to Reggie Bannister, the hardest working man in horror. Reggie is such a cool fucking character. He's like Uncle Reggie, Uncle Reg. You know what I mean? He's just like a cool fucking dude.
He's the ice cream man.
Correct.
he's the
Yeah,
ice cream
he's the
man,
ice
yeah.
cream man. He's a picker. You know what I mean?
He's a grinner.
Yeah, he loves to
He's a
sing his
lover.
songs. Like, I mean, he's just a really cool look. He's a cool dude. You know what I mean?
He has some great one-liners.
Oh, always. Yeah, come on, you mother.
Yeah, come on, you mother. The chainsaws. I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, we just did Check the Chainsaw
I
Massacre
know.
2.
Yeah, I know, right?
Tie-in,
They break out
tie-in.
the chainsaw.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he was in Wishmaster. But the movie that I was amiss at the very beginning, Don Coscarelli, was the Kinney and Company. That was the other
Okay.
movie that he did.
Not
He kind
familiar.
of started. But he's done a lot of bit roles, and I think with this one, he really kind of took on the Reggie persona outside of almost by going to conventions after conventions after conventions to push this movie.
Okay.
And
You know,
really
so-
stay
I'm
with
waiting,
it.
I'm
Or-
waiting-
or
I'm
part
waiting till
3.
Till you get is that
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I think. I think that they're all buddies,
Yeah,
and Mike's playing Mike, and Reggie's playing Reggie.
Yeah.
For a reason.
yeah,
Because that's who they are.
yeah.
There wasn't much acting, and like you could tell they're not like classically trained actors.
Well, their characters' names are their names.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and they're all three friends. So I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
he really wrote them to their part.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You
And he
know?
was friends with them from
so he
his
didn't have
first
to
movie.
take on that persona. He
Yeah.
was that
He was,
persona.
okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Which
I'm
is
with
really
you.
cool, and again, he would be a cool dude to hang out with, and I've read that he's been really personable with his fans, and
That's
not been a
cool.
jerk. You know, like anytime there's an autograph, he'll sign it. He'll meet people. He'll talk to people. He just seems like that kind of a guy.
Wow.
You know, which is again takes on that Reggie persona.
Yeah, maybe
really
we'll
cool
reach
dude.
out. We'll have
Yeah.
an interview.
That would be
cool.
awesome.
Friend of the
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got Paula Irving. She plays Liz. She was in a lot of
Character
TV.
not needed.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she's like the telepath who connects with Mike in the beginning.
Yeah, she was part of it. Yeah, she was on. This is a weird one. The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Well, of course she
did
was.
some-
Why wouldn't
she
she? be?
did some videos on that, or she did some voiceovers, and then she was on Renegade. Come on, the classic fucking series about a biker bounty hunter before Dog the Bounty Hunter. Holy shit, right?
Not familiar with that one.
We'll move on because the next person we have is Samantha Phillips. She was.
Boobs.
Yep. Welcome to the
Boobs
stage, Alchemy.
McGee. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That was my intro. And welcome to the stage, Alchemy.
Alchemy.
She played on a lot
Tip
of.
well.
She played on a full moon feature that was Doll Man. I don't know if you remember.
Of course,
that
I
one.
remember
Yeah.
Doll Man. I remember Doll Man versus Dangerous Toys.
Oh, see,
Or wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, I think
Dangerous
so.
Toys?
Yeah.
Demonic Toys.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it was.
Those full moon features are awesome,
terrible.
man. I just remember them.
They're terribly awesome.
Yes,
That is
I
what they are.
remember them coming up and being like, "Ooh, there's a Puppet Master 4. I'm gonna watch it." Yes, it's the dude with the fucking hands and the drill dude.
The drill
Yeah.
dude's back, man.
Yeah.
The drill dude.
They
And you
had
got
so many-
Switchblade right there.
They had so many shitty movies, but they were so fucking cool because they were so
And,
unusual.
Well, I think what was cool too, like if you make a movie called, like you have a guy, Doll Man, you have a movie called Demonic Toys, and you're like, yeah, fuck it, let's make a movie
Yeah,
with both
sure.
of them in
Correct.
it.
And I'm not saying
so they
that-
weren't taking it so
Well, what
seriously.
should we do?
Is what
Yeah.
I'm
Have them
saying.
fight each other.
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm not
Frankenstein
talking
versus
shit.
Dracula.
Yeah,
Man. Come
yeah.
on.
I'm not
All right.
talking shit on full moon features at all. I love full moon features. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
I grew
Oh,
up.
I'm
with
talking
them.
a little bit of shit because they
Yeah.
were shitty movies,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, but I mean, they
had
their run.
place. Yeah, they absolutely.
Yeah, they totally had their run. She was also a Penthouse Pet of the Month at one point,
Ooh.
and she did a lot of Penthouse movies too. You look at her now; she doesn't look like she's aged a day.
I know,
Which
right?
is crazy.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Alchemy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Alchemy.
What kind of song was she
To the
coming out
center
to?
stage.
It'd be like,
at the bar, bang, bang.
it'd be like hot for teacher.
It would be now.
A little
yeah,
Van
for sure.
Halen there.
Yeah, I guess it would have to be something in
Yeah.
the 80s, right?
Oh,
I was thinking of strip clubs like recently, I guess. I don't
Right,
know.
right.
Not that I'm going to strip clubs.
now this
I
next-
really do come record a podcast, sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah. We're always recording here. The next one is our Avengers connection. This guy was in the Avengers, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3. He's a good character actor. He was the father. His name is Kenneth Tiger, or Tigar.
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't know.
the priest.
The priest, the
yeah,
father,
the
yeah.
father, yeah.
So he's done a lot of character
Yeah, I was
stuff
gonna say
in
I
movies. Yeah,
recognize him from
you
being in
recognize him a
of
lot,
things.
and he's a great actor. He really is. I don't think, and just like the Avengers part where he was the old German dude.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he does a good job in the 5 seconds that he's on screen, and he
Yeah.
always does it consistently, doing pretty good. Now we get into the old people that were in this one. Reuben Kushner, he was the grandfather. He did nothing after this.
He just-
He
he's
really
just in
did
a
nothing.
coffin the whole
Did he
time.
die after this? Because he's
did-
pretty old.
He
dude.
did.
Are you
This
talking about
movie-
the guy who's just in the coffin?
Correct.
Yes.
And that was laying in bed next to her, right? His wife.
Oh, in the
Alex
makeup,
Murphy.
Yeah, yeah.
He was Alex Murphy
What?
in this.
Alex Murphy.
Exactly.
That's the RoboCop
Whoa.
That's the
connection.
RoboCop connection.
Ah.
And then Ruthie Ingle, she was Grandma Murphy. She was on Cheers and a whole bunch of other television shows, maybe
As the-
Murder She
I
Wrote.
lovingly call her Gammy.
Yeah, and
Don't do it, Gammy. Come on.
Yeah, that Paula woman, Liz, was just like, Grandma, are you
Grandma?
awake? It's like, how old is this chick? She's like 19 or 18 or something.
I don't know, but she was there to take care of her. So I
Right,
don't-
right.
Not
and
her
then,
shitty sister
Yeah,
Jerry.
he just
yeah,
left.
and then Jerry's next. Stacey Travis, she was actually on Mystery Men. She played a
Oh.
bit role in Mystery Men, and she was also on.
What role in Mystery Man?
She was like one of the superhero tryouts or something like that. I think.
PMS girl?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, and then also she was on a Jeff Goldblum classic, Earth Girls Are Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
it's just
now
wonderful.
we say that A. Michael Baldwin wasn't in this movie, but he was.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't Mike.
He wasn't Mike. He was in a flashback in this, and he
And that
did
was from the other movie.
correct
The
and-
first movie.
and he basically did, Phantasm movies after this.
Yes.
He's made his career off of the Phantasm, just like Don Coscarelli and Reggie Bannister. But then once
Three
we,
best friends.
yeah,
What are you gonna? Do you know? Did you see who did the stand-in?
oh yeah,
It's that
Lori Laughlin. She's about to go to jail for like 40 years.
I mean, like
She was the
15
stand-in
days?
for A. Michael Baldwin, just from the back.
How weird is
'Cause-
that?
Yeah, I know. It's just like an unusual thing. Like
Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a.
it's a
heart.
tall man.
There's a Laughlin.
There's a
Yeah.
heart.
Now this one is a really cool one right here. J. Patrick McNamara. He played the psychologist, and he's only in this for less than maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Not
right?
even that long. But you know who he was? He was in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey. He was Mr. Preston.
Really?
Oh,
He was Mr. Preston.
Oh wow!
Which is
I
weird.
didn't recognize that. I didn't make that connection.
If you envision him in that jacket and you look at him when you're watching this movie, you're like, oh fucking, that's Bill S. Preston Esquire's dad.
And then wasn't the other dad Richard Jenkins?
Yeah, no. It was somebody else. No,
But it looks like Richard
yeah,
Jenkins.
he looks
yeah.
like him. Yeah, he wants to send him to Oates Military Academy.
Right.
Yeah, he does.
By the way, they're coming out with another one next year.
Yes,
Yep,
yeah.
excited about that.
I'm pretty excited too.
The last major person in this was the mortician. That was Mark Anthony Major. Okay, this guy didn't really do a lot of stuff, but this is in my notes of why haven't I seen this yet. He did a movie called Stooge Mania. I might have seen
Oh,
this
I have heard of that
on
actually,
like a USA
yeah.
Up All Night or something like that. But
Describe what you know about this.
the only thing that I read, it was basically about some mental patients who were really into the Three Stooges. That's all.
I've not
that's-
seen
yeah.
it. I've just heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's all I really know about it. But this dude was a Star Trek. He's a Trekkie because he was in Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Enterprise. He was in Voyager. He had done a lot of Star Trek stuff, which he was probably Ensign Lewis or Ensign Lynch that died in every other episode. You know what I mean?
He's just a red
Yeah,
shirt.
he was a red shirt.
I'm gonna Tarantino back to the dad
Oh yeah,
from the Bill and Ted movies.
Yeah.
Bill.
is Gerald McRaney, and he was from Simon and Simon
Oh,
and Major Dad.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh damn, that's
you,
our
thank
Simon
you.
and
I
Simon
was
connection.
like, I know that's there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Simon and Simon connection from Prince of Darkness.
Darkness, absolutely.
Yes.
Dang.
It all leads back to Prince of Darkness and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze. Alice Cooper and the Secret of the Ooze.
Yes. So, again, I've watched this movie so many times because, again, formative years, going to the video store, having all the summers to be able to watch nothing but movies and just all these films over and over again because the video shelves were just full of things that you could watch over and over again because that's what you had to do. You know, is that and rent a Nintendo game?
That's
You know,
right.
you'd rent a Nintendo game for the week and you'd rent like 5 videos, the max.
That's right.
And
Might
then
get some
you're
wrestling
there.
tapes too, but
Right. Well, yeah.
you go
see,
through the horror
yeah.
aisle and you got to look at the covers
Every
in the
time.
back and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is unfortunately one that if it was at the video store, it wasn't at like the last two that I can remember. It could have been at the third one we had, but we had a fourth one too. But it was up. It was
Oh,
This would have been right around the time that my mom, maybe actually just a little bit before this, is probably where I saw the original Phantasm. My mom actually managed a video game store in this small town we lived in.
nice.
So they had a
Wow.
pretty good selection,
Awesome.
you know. So it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. See, my dad introduced me into Phantasm.
And I was like 10,
Yeah.
11, 12.
yeah,
you
I've
know?
never really talked to my dad in the last couple of years about this, but I remember him being like, "Oh man, you need to watch this movie. It's really cool." Because he saw it in the theater. You know, the original Phantasm when it came out.
Right.
So he was a big fan of it from then. And then whenever this one came out, I mean, he had that connection to it. It kind of made this was my generation Phantasm. You know what I mean?
Sure.
From father to son.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like it so much.
generational.
You know what I
drop
mean?
culture.
Yeah.
It's like he just shined it up and gave it right
Yeah,
to
he's
you.
like, here's a big old shiny ball just for
yeah,
you.
just for you. We call this one Rambo.
Yeah, and this
That's
one's
awesome.
gold. It's called Rambo.
real quick. I feel that way about a lot of the tapes that that I had too growing up.
Yeah,
and, you know,
yeah. You there's certain movies that come along too. They get passed down, but then when we grew up in this age where they had all these sequels,
Right.
you could have those. Like your mom or your dad could be like, "Oh, I love this movie. You need to watch this one." And then you would see the sequel that was coming out in the 80s. It was like, "Oh my god, this is so
RoboCop
cool."
So
2,
for-
House 2.
Right.
For me, it was more like, thank God, but my parents gave zero fucks what I watched.
Yeah,
period.
Mine did too.
They're like, whatever, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
See-
And sometimes they let me watch stuff with them, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? But
yeah.
at the same time, they were like, it didn't matter.
The only time that my parents never let me watch something with everybody else was Nightmare on Elm Street. They rented it,
Okay.
and my dad's cousins were over, and then my cousins were there too. So they wouldn't let them watch R-rated movies, so
you
I
didn't get to it.
couldn't.
Ah.
So we crossed the living room and we were watching the part on Nightmare on Elm Street where she's climbing up the wall,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh man, this is going to be so cool when I get to watch this when everybody leaves.
When she's dragged up the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my cousins were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, this is like normal. This is the stuff that I watch every
Running
night."
with the devil.
Oh, this is gonna be a Van Halen episode.
No. I caused that. Damn it.
So
Well,
let's.
we could tie it in with some David Lee Roth with some Ice Cream Man.
It
Stop
is.
me when I'm passing by.
Bibbidi bop.
Bibbidi bop. Bibbidi bop.
Squeep bop a doo bop.
All right, that's all the Van Halen.
Okay.
Hey, I promised last episode that would be the most Van Halen they would ever have in one of our episodes. So let's stop.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So
Deal.
let's get into the bulk of this movie.
Yeah.
This movie starts out in a kind of in a cool way. It's not. It doesn't really seem like it's too